Welcome, one and all, to another fantastic episode of Concentrated Chaos with your host. Hey, it's me, it's Rusty. And for those of you that know me, I'm Rusty. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm still Rusty. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today is awesome. We get to close out the series that we've been going through for the past few weeks called The Playbook. Okay, if this is your first time joining, definitely go back and check out the past episodes. The Playbook is my playbook for my 3-day Saturday to sold selling system, where I sell homes, any home, at any price point, in any condition, anywhere in the state of Colorado, in 3 days or less. Period. And this entire series is for you. If this is your first time joining us for this series, definitely go back and watch the other episodes before you watch this one. They're all fantastic, if I do say so myself. I'm sure you're probably thinking, you hear, oh, it's a playbook. You know, there's probably some sort of, course that he's selling or coaching program or something behind a paywall. Nope, nothing. This is 100% of everything that I do for you, for free, forever. I will explain anything. If you reach out to me after, I'll explain anything that I can to you. I'll help you with it as much as I can. This is to help. This whole series is to help. There's nothing held back here. This is everything that I do, and it's for you. So with that said, let's talk about closing day. So if you're following through on this process as you're selling your house, congratulations. You are at the closing day. Very exciting day. It's wonderful. Once you get past all of the dates and deadlines, this is where we're at. Okay, so usually a couple of days before, depending on how quickly the lender wants to move, you'll get a clear to close from the lender. That's a great thing to hear. That means they've approved all of the loan and they're ready to fund. All we need to do is just sign the paperwork. Once we get the clear to close, we'll schedule a date and time for you to come in and sign all the paperwork. Now, you can do that in a few different places. You can do that at the title company, in the title company's office with my closer or closer of whoever's available. That's my preferred method just because, it's a big deal. There's a lot of legal paperwork. If you have questions, I can be there to answer questions, or your agent can be there, or even if you're doing it for sale by owner, your closer is a phenomenal resource. They all day, every day, they go over these documents. They can answer questions for you. So I always recommend closing at the title company. If that's not an option, or you're out of state, or whatever the case is, you can have a mobile notary come to you. Now, they're just a notary that's there to verify that you are who you say you are, so that they can witness you signing these legal documents. They're not going to have the knowledge of the documents, especially an out-of-state notary isn't going to know what our contracts say. But that is an option. You can even do it in the comfort of your own home. My title company that I use, Canyon Title, I'm sure other ones have it too, but Canyon Title has a service where you can do an online notary as long as you have a webcam and a microphone. You can, in the comfort of your own home at 2 a.m, if you want, in your pajamas or your underwear. Please don't do it in your underwear, but you could if you wanted to. You can sign all of your closing paperwork. So those are the options. But like I said, I recommend coming into the title company. Before the day of closing, they're going to send you a preliminary seller's settlement statement. So big mouthful. Basically, that's the numbers. Okay, they're going to go in their format, however they do it, and say, okay, $500 or $500,000 is the sale price, minus the title fees, minus the HOA fees, minus all the fees that are associated. If there's any credits, those are going to be on there. It's a balance sheet of what happens. But if you look down at the bottom on the seller's settlement statement, there's going to be a line. It's a very important line. It's the one you're going to want to look at. It says amount due to seller. It's going to be in big bold letters, and then right next to it, there's going to be a number. And usually there's a comma. And then sometimes there's a few numbers after the comma. Then if you have a really cool house, there's 2 commas in that number. That's a good number. That's going to be your proceeds, obviously. and you want to make sure that all the numbers add up. We're going to go, as an agent, I'm going through that, making sure everything is correct. You send that back to them, and then they balance that with all of the other numbers. As the seller, you can close really within a couple of days before the contract's up. It's less important that you close on closing day. As a seller, you can sign whenever, basically, for the most part, as long as the deed is drafted and the paperwork's ready to go, and the settlement statements are finalized. You can, as soon as that happens, which could be anywhere from 2 to 3 to 5 days ahead of closing, you can close as a seller if you want. You won't get your money until the buyers sign and the loan is funded and dispersed, but you can sign paperwork if you need to early. And then the last thing is, obviously once you show up, you need to bring an ID so that they know you are who you say you are. Any pertinent documents, I just recently had a client that their house was owned by Living Trust, so they needed to bring the trust documents in order to verify everything was as they said it was. Bring all that kind of stuff, estate documents, whatever you need, and then bring how you want to get paid. Now, I always recommend, even if it's $1, I recommend wire transfer. Check. I don't like checks. I don't like, when buyers give me earnest money checks to deposit. I don't like it. It's another big reason why I like Canyon Title, because they have a program where you don't even have to go to the title company. You can virtually upload an earnest money check into their system. It's fantastic. But I don't like having checks. However, if you do, that's fine. As long as your proceeds are under $50,000, you can get a check cut to you at the table for your proceeds. Now, the reason I don't like, I just explained one of the reasons, but another reason why I don't like having a check is because banks don't necessarily know or care that it's coming from a title company. All they see is a check for $48,000, and they're going to want to put a hold on it to make sure that it's a legit check. And sometimes that can be 3 or 5 or even 10-day holds on your money, and that's not what you want. You obviously, if you're getting a check for $50,000, you're going to want that available as soon as possible, because you probably have an idea of what you want to use it on, whether it's savings or investment, or you're probably buying another house with it. You're not going to want to have to wait that long. So with a wire transfer, depending on when the buyers close, if the buyers close early in the day, I've had it where the closer is on it, they will disperse as soon as the buyers are closed and funded. And I've had sellers get their money literally within an hour of leaving the title company, like in their account, ready to use. So wire transfer is definitely the best way to do that. So when you do that, if you want to wire transfer, you got to bring your account and your routing number to closing, and they'll wire it to you. And that can be in any amount, whether it's $1 or $10 million. And potentially you can have that the same day, because the money is already sitting in there, because they've gotten it from the lender. That money is already sitting in their trust account at the title company. So that's all the best way to do that. One word of caution with this: do not ever email any wiring information ever. Ever. That sounds reasonable, right? That a reasonable person would never email their banking information. What's happening now, and it's a really nasty scam, is, and most title companies won't even let you email. They'll say you have to call us, give us the title, the information, and then we're going to call you back and verify that this is the right information. What's happening is people get smart, scammers get smart, and they were seeing emails go through that had proceeds, as far as sellers. Hey, we're going to wire you your proceeds. Send us your routing and account number so that we can wire you your funds at closing. Scammers are intercepting those emails. They're changing the accounts and routing numbers to their accounts, and then they're sending them on as if they're totally normal. And there's people that have had hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars of their home sale proceeds, poof, gone, up and gone. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it at that point either. It's just gone. And so they're really cracking down on any sort of electronic transfer of that. Honestly, if you have to send it, fax it. Fax is weird. Fax is coming back because you can't hack a fax. It's over a phone line. So if you can fax seems to be the most secure way to send something anymore. I'm actually thinking about putting a fax machine into my house because of that. So, which is weird in 2024 to be saying that. But anyways, don't ever email anything. Always call them or bring it with you to closing to have it be verified. And then that's about it. So the only thing past closing normally that you'll see is a rent back. Rent back or a post-closing occupancy agreement is the official title that we have in Colorado. What that is let's say you're closing your house on December 15th. Well, you're moving to Scranton, New Jersey. I don't know where the hell that came from. Whatever. Let's say you're moving to Scranton for some ungodly reason. Your house in Scranton isn't going to be ready until January 27th. Okay, but you close on December 15th. What are you going to do for that time in between? Are you going to move out of your house in Colorado, put all your stuff in storage and stay at an Airbnb, and then move all your stuff cross country and have to move twice? No, that sucks. I mean, if you have to do it, you have to do it. But what we can do on the front end, and this is a front end thing, is we can negotiate in the negotiation stage a post-closing occupancy agreement. We just call it a rent back. And what that is that allows sellers to retain possession of their house after they have sold it for a period of up to 59 days, as much as we can do on that form. And it outlines it. It's a short-term lease. And we use it all the time. It's fantastic. It really helps sellers minimize the amount of time where they have to be moving. It's excellent. If you have a multiple offer situation, a lot of times you can get that for free, where they'll do no rent. If it's, depending on the situation, I've had it where, as long as the seller's, let's say the seller's staying for 10 days after closing, well, they will prorate the buyer's mortgage on a per day basis and then multiply that times how many days they're staying. And that's what they'll charge in rent. Makes sense. That's fair. Definitely, if you're going to do a post-closing agreement as a seller, you're going to want to get a renter's policy in place. It's like $6 for 2 months. I mean, it's really, really cheap. You're going to want to get that in place. And then security deposit, typically we see it, $1,000 to $1,500, depending on how nice the house is or how long you're staying. If you can get the title company to hold that, that's awesome. I typically don't like to have, the buyers hold that, just because you don't know what they're doing with your money. You don't want to have to chase them down for your deposit. If you can get a neutral third party, not me, not your agent, don't do that. If you're an agent, don't ever offer to handle that. You don't want any part of that. If you can get a neutral third party to hold the security deposit, that's the way to go. But you can definitely use a rent back to your advantage. And then you are closed. Home is sold. We're done. We're in and out. This is a quick one. That's the playbook from A to Z. There's nothing in here. Like I said, I've said it a bunch of times. I didn't leave anything out. You could take this playbook and run it play by play, step by step, and you will get the same results that I do. I'm not a savant at this. This isn't something that I've just, nobody else can do what I do. No, everybody can do what I do. Everybody should, in this industry, do what I do. Be a lot better off if we had that. A lot. So this is for you. Anything that you want, let me know. I've got resources for a lot of this stuff. I've mentioned along the way some vendors. I've got their contact information. If you want, you can go to SaturdayToSold.com. There's a link on there for local favorites. A lot of those are going to be in there. I've got photographers. I've got title companies. I've got inspectors. I've got everybody on there. All of my people on there. You can go in there and see who you need and give them a call. Tell them Rusty sent you. They'll take care of you. They're good folks. Yeah, this is for you. I'm so fulfilled to have this out in the world. I'm really, really excited that this is out there, and I'm convinced, whether it's the one random dude in India that listens to this podcast, or somebody that I know is going to hear this series and it's going to help. And for all of the technical glitches and all of the time spent and editing and all that, it's worth it. If I can help one person make the most money possible or to keep the most money in their pocket with my knowledge and experience, it's all worth it. And I'm going to keep doing it. So thank you so much for this journey. And I have a small announcement, small change, but this is in the studios here in the podcast studio. This is going to be my last episode in this studio. Literally after I turn this off, we're packing up and we are moving to a new space. So I'll talk directly to the camera for this one. We're moving to a new space. I cannot wait to get it all set up and show you what the new space is going to look like. It's going to be fantastic, and I'm excited for 2025. This is this is the first year of the podcast. We only got about 15 episodes in. That's right. We're going to do better next year. Things are going to be better. We're going to keep upgrading technology. I'm going to get better at the video editing. We're going to get these out faster, and I'm really excited for what 2025 has to offer, and I hope that you will continue to join me on this journey of concentrated chaos. So thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, concerns, anything like that, you know the deal. The phone number, 303-335-9705. You can email me, rusty@rustystevenson.com. On all the socials, @TheRealtorRusty. And if you see me walking around the streets, say hello. I would love to chat with you. So thank you guys, everyone. Today is the 22nd of December. This is going to come out after this. But I hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I hope 2024 was a blessing, a year of fruit for you. And I wish everyone that watches this podcast a happy and prosperous 2025, and we'll see you on the flip side. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Later.